Excellency, the High Commissioner of India, Mrs. Padmaja, the Vanua and elders of Dawasamu and Nakorotumbu, Mr. Joseph Asani, Senior Pastor, AOG Church, the head of school, Dawasamu Secondary School, head of school, Dawasamu District Primary School, head teacher, Lawaki District School, head teacher, Navuni Senior District School, head teacher, Buriwai District School, station officer, Dawasamu Police Post, staff nurse, Dawasamu Nursing Station, representatives of our Indian Embassy, our kind contractors, Minister of Education officials, invited guests, Nisambula Vinaka, and a very good afternoon to you all. We started the morning very early today, me and Her Excellency. And I think the whole week has been very busy, and it actually has been very busy for your area as well. 2 weeks ago, we were with the Prime Minister at Queen Victoria High School, and we did the official opening of the new classroom block. And today, this morning, we started off with the Wunindawa Sanatan Primary School. We opened a double-story building, again, a rehabilitation project, the partnership between the Indian government and the Fijian government at a cost of about 1.2 million. And here we are this afternoon with our students and the Dawasamu community at your school here to commission $1.7 million project. And after that, I'm sure you'll be joining us to commission another $2.8 million project. Ladies and gentlemen, this wouldn't have been possible if we had not had generous partners after TC Winston damaged more than 495 schools across Fiji. And acting head teacher, I think this is my second visit to this premises. I remember when TC Winston struck, I came and launched the Help for Home initiative in this very premises. If I recall, it was one of the buildings that was destroyed by TC Winston, and we gave out the Help for Home cards to the people here. I recall that. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we are here to celebrate. We are here to celebrate our resilience in fighting, our resilience in overcoming challenges that come our way. TC Winston wiped 1/3 of our GDP. It destroyed more than 12,000 plus homes. It destroyed, like I said, more than 500 schools, minor damage and major damages. And one of those schools that sustained the major damages was this school. When we called for support and assistance from our donor partners, our international partners, Indian government together with other partners came on board and partnered with the Fijian government to ensure that we rebuild structures, and we rebuild structures that could withstand any other cyclone that would ever hit Fiji. These buildings that you see, these buildings that the government is now building, is built to standards to withstand another Category 5 cyclone. And we must all pray that we never get struck by a cyclone of that nature again. It destroyed lives. It destroyed our children's education. It destroyed our economy. And the memories of that, I think you all know what happened, what your families went through, what your children went through. So today we celebrate that. Today we celebrate the fact that we can rise up no matter what comes our way. Now more than TC Winston, people are talking about COVID-19. We are COVID-19 contained country. We are not yet COVID-free. The world, it will take some time for the world to become a COVID-free world. So at the moment, let us not drop our guards down and say, okay, we are free from COVID-19. No, we are not yet free. We have contained it. The dangers related to that is still there. People across the globe are still dying. We are lucky in Fiji that we have not recorded any deaths so far from COVID-19. And that's what we need to do. We need to work together. Her Excellency mentioned the work that our doctors and the nurses are doing, the work that the government is doing in trying to fight off this new disaster that has suddenly become part of our lives. We closed our schools for 3 months, and that was a long time. And to the children here, I think you are happy to be back in school. Are you? Great. And now you have a new building. You have a new building. Like I said, these buildings are built to standards so that we as your government can provide you with the much needed resources, with an environment that is conducive to learning. After TC Winston, we have spent close to 240,000 rebuilding schools, new schools, or rehabilitating schools. Here alone, we have spent $2.8 million for the Dawasamu district school, and we've spent 1.7 million for the secondary school here. So that's a lot of investment. And that has happened, these two projects have happened because we've partnered with the Indian government. The Indian government came on board with an assistance of 2.7 million and have identified 20 schools across the country. So your school is part of those 20 schools that have been assisted by the Indian government. So ladies and gentlemen, like I said, even the MC has just said, education is important. The provisions that the government is providing for children to be able to attend school, taking off the burden of the parents. I remember my parents used to pay fees, and I'm sure most of the adults sitting here would agree with me that our parents had to work hard, fork out money, and then send us to school. Here we are trying to make sure that we provide an accessible and inclusive and equitable education system where every child should be in school. And this is where the responsibility of the parents comes in. So as community leaders, I'd like to urge you to ensure that parents continue sending their children to school. We do understand the struggles that families are going through, but parental responsibility must never be compromised. It's the duty, it's the responsibility of the parents to send their children to school, and it is the responsibility of the teachers and the ministry and the government to ensure that quality teaching happens within our school institutions. And for quality teaching, we need quality resources, we need quality buildings, and that's what we are seeing today. So ladies and gentlemen, like I said, it's one of those happy occasions, and if I can just use this platform to advise you about the new budget that has been announced last week, I'm sure a lot of information would pass around now that the government has given a reduced budget to the Ministry of Education. Yes, no doubt about it. We all have to be together to see that we continue with the operations of the government. Ministry of Education has had a reduced budget, no doubt about it, but I can assure you now to the parents and students, all the assistance that we currently give to our children, free textbooks, transport assistance, and what else do we give? Textbooks and transport assistance, salary for your teachers has not been, there has been no pay cut for the teachers. That will continue. What we will ask of the management here is to work with us and prioritize the money that we give you. If there are certain projects that you can put on hold, I would like to seek the management to consider that, so that with the reduced the free education grant that we've been given, we will still be able to operate normally. So we will definitely meet you after next week, the managements and all the faith-based organizations that are part of running the schools, and we will sit and talk and say, how do we go through this year? How do we make sure that we do not levy any fees on our children? How do we make sure that we don't ask parents to pay for the education of the children, apart from the normal provision, stationery, the food, and the bags and the shoes that parents are doing. That's part of the parental responsibility. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are here celebrating. We are celebrating our resilience, like I said, and I'd like to thank all those who have been part of this. First and foremost, the Indian High Commission for coming on board. And Your Excellency, please convey our appreciation, the Ministry's appreciation to the Indian government and your Prime Minister. We very much appreciate the assistance, the timely assistance that your government rendered to us. We'd also like to put on record the assistance in terms of scholarships that are available to our Fijian students. 100 scholarship allocations for Fiji alone. Not in the Pacific, but Fiji alone. And that's something great. So let us hope and pray that the borders open up fast and that our children can start, or we all can start traveling and start living a normal life. But every day you hear this word, new normal. I mean, I don't know what the new normal is. I don't know what the normal is anymore. But let's hope and pray that we are out of this situation fast so that we can continue living the way we used to live before. But before we come to that, we will just have to live with the times that we are in. These are very tough times. These are very trying times. People are losing their jobs. The economy has suffered. But we need to move forward. And how do we move forward? We need to be united in what we do. Our responsibilities as elders, our responsibilities as parents, our responsibilities as teachers must not be compromised. These children are our greatest assets. And it's not for say that we say children, youths are the future leaders. Many of these children will rise up after completing their educations and lead this country in the near future. So let us guide them. And like Her Excellency said, this is a paradise. It's not only about Dawasamu. I think Fiji is still a paradise. And we must always be loyal to our country. We must always think positive of our country, no matter what happens. And we need to be together in our battle to fight. Whether it's COVID-19, whether it's TC Winston, whether it's TC Herald. So after TC Winston, we had COVID. And while we had COVID, we came across TC Herald. A lot of schools sustained damages in the Tailevu and Southern Lao and the Mamanudas. So we still haven't finished rebuilding from TC Winston. You are one of those lucky schools that has completed the rebuild. There's a lot of work to be done. And as we travel across the country, as we travel across the islands, we see that there is still a lot of work to be done in ensuring that our children have proper, conducive classrooms. So our work is not yet finished here. But we must take small steps and do what is within our means. And that is exactly what the government will continue to do, continue to invest in infrastructure, continue to invest in the education of our children, and continue to look after its people. So ladies and gentlemen, with these words, I'd like to thank you for being here. Indeed, it's a time to celebrate. And like I said, if I could sing, I would also sing about Fiji and why we need to celebrate. But I think we can celebrate by doing the official commissioning of our schools, and we'd like to hand over this school to you as soon as we can, and that's within the next few minutes. We want to give you the papers and say, here, that is your school, look after it, because generations and generations of children will go through these classrooms and become the future leaders of this country. So to the Vanua, once again, thank you very much. To the teachers, I think I owe you a special thank you for being with us during this 3 months school closure, for preparing the worksheets. For the leadership of the two schools, thank you very much, and the surrounding schools. I know the challenges you have here is different from the challenges in the urban areas and other areas. I recall that there was an article which said teachers, the Prime Minister came to the rescue of the teachers who arrived to school late. Okay, you still have to arrive on time, but okay, I'll leave it at that. But that's for you to liaise with the head of school. I can understand the challenges in traveling, but whatever you do, please walk with your head of school, walk with your communities, and see that you make your school proud. To the children, keep happy, stay healthy, keep smiling, okay? You are our future, and it is our responsibility to nurture you and instill those values that will help in your upbringing. So, and to our contractors, thank you for the timely, is it? Yes? For the completion of this building. I think you are one of those that we love to work with, apart from a few other, and I hope that we continue working for the betterment of our community. The construction implementation unit of the Ministry of Economy that looks after these projects, that makes sure that now buildings are built to standards. When TC Winston blew away most of our schools, we found out that there were no building plans. We found out that schools were just built like that. So now any new school, any new building is built to standards. So construction implementation unit under the leadership of Mr. Shah, thank you very much. And of course the divisional education office of the Ministry of Education and everybody who's been part of this. Thank you very much, and stay blessed and stay healthy and stay happy. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful. Thank you.